Perfect.
Once again, what's up? It's Real Blue with another hot esports analyst video. This time we're going to be talking about the Splitgate Pro Series. Week 1 just concluded earlier this past weekend, June 4th and 5th. There were some exciting matchups, and it was a great time, man. We've got 8 orgs or 8 teams, and they're all great. I mean, we've got T1 who are great. We've got XSET, Space Station Gaming, Moist Esports, Luminosity Gaming, E United, Elevate, and Pioneers. Just want to give a quick shout out first. I mean, a lot of these teams have some players that we've seen in Splitgate before, but I want to give a quick shout out to Chloe on Moist Esports because I met that guy through Rogue Company. I used to enjoy watching him play Rogue Company. Now I enjoy watching him play under Moist Esports for Splitgate, so that's awesome. And then of course on Pioneers, I gotta give a shout out to Bitey. I've known Bitey since like 2016 2017 from Paladins when he competed in that. So Bitey's still out there doing his thing, you know, Bork to the moon, baby. But yeah, I have not done any videos on Splitgate since Bitey was on a team called Bork, actually, and this was the last power rankings I did. Yeah, there is a lot of a lot I haven't reported on, a lot I haven't done. But we did see some exciting matches. We saw Moist beat Elevate 3-0 on day 1. We saw E United get a map taken off of them by Pioneers, although they still won 3-1. XSET 3-1 over Luminosity, but still, we'll talk about it here in a second when I show you my my power rankings, because I know you are not gonna like them. I can already tell. So first, let's take a look at the standings. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. Well, there you have it. Pretty simple standings to look at. Everyone played 2 matches. Also, I think this is the only 2 matches that they get before roster locks come in. So if anyone's going to make any roster changes, they got to do it like before week 3. Challengers is also coming up too, which is where relegations could happen. Elevate is that #1 team that came out of Challengers, I believe, before they signed with Elevate. I forgot what their name was, but that roster is pretty good, except for the fact that, you know, they're going up against some big dogs here in the league now, so maybe they're not fully equipped for it, so that's why they're 0-2. Pioneers going 0-2 as well. I don't think that actually like really tells the full story, because they did have some competitive games and they did get some good matches going. E United, of course, went 2-0, 86% win rate. Map wise, I believe they only dropped 1 map the entire weekend. XSET and Space Station Gaming also went 2-0. XSET had a little bit better of a map win loss compared to SSG, but when I show you the power rankings, you're going to see I don't think XSET is as strong as they look on paper. But then we have T1 and Moist both going 1-1, and Luminosity right above that relegation. They have a better map win percentage than Pioneers and Elevate, but they're still 0-2. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the power rankings that I have. Yeah, exactly. Already jumping out at you is probably the fact that XSET is at #4 despite being 2-0 and being #2 in the standings due to their game win percentage or their map win percentage. That's mainly because they went up against Luminosity, all right? And this is also why Luminosity is 0-2, but they're at #5 in this power rankings from myself. They beat Luminosity 3-1, XSET that is, but take a look at those scores. Go back and watch those games if you need to. Luminosity put up a fight, 223-222 on Olympus in game 1. They won the first King of the Hill by 1 point. Literally 1 point. XSET came out victorious. Then we go to game 2, right? XSET is the winner again. It's in TDM, but it's 60-55. Literally 5 eliminations behind was Luminosity. Okay, that's a couple that's 1 or 2 plays that makes the difference. 1 or 2 mistakes that could be cleaned up for Luminosity. Then we go to game 3. This is where Luminosity won. on Carman Station, okay? 700 to 592. Xset, I don't know if they just don't play well on Carman Station. Maybe they had an off game for game number 3, or maybe they're not that good at domination. Whatever it may be, they lost that one by 108, okay? That's when Luminosity said, okay, we're going to force this to a game number 4. They did go to game 4. And again, the scores were very close. I believe, if I am correct, this is the one that was on Impact. It is. And it went 241 to 240. Yeah, you heard it right. Again, another King of the Hill is won by Xset, but Luminosity only lost by 1 point. So game number 1, they're King of the Hill, 223 to 222. Game number 4, 241 to 240. Luminosity, again, they went 0-2, but they had a better map win rate than Pioneers and Elevate. That's why they're above them in that 6th spot in the standings. But I think Luminosity is a strong team because they forced Xset to a game 4. They both King of the Hills, they lost by 1 point, and they lost the TDM by 5. So very narrow margins for them. If you go to day 2, Luminosity also took Space Station Gaming to 5 games. These are best of 5s. They took them all the way. They won Crag, They won Crag 250 to 145. Okay. Game 2, they lose by 4, 60 to 56. Maybe the LG just needs to figure out a way to clean up their TDM. That is really what is holding them back, because then they go to Helix for domination and they win 700 to 663. So they give up more points this time in the Dom, but still they're coming out victorious. Then they go to Atlantis, and this is where SSG said, okay, let's wake up. 244 to 201 in game 4 on Atlantis, and then TDM Impact the decider, 60 to 51. So LG consistently staying within range of winning these TDMs. They lose 60 to 51, 60 to 56, 60 to 55. So they're losing by 5, losing by 4, and losing by 9. They lose both their King of the Hills again to Xset by 1 in each of those, 223, 222, 241, 240. And then they are able to beat SSG on Crag in that first King of the Hill, Remember, these Xset and SSG, these are not teams that are just good on paper. Like, look at this, right? Luminosity is going up against an Xset squad who went 6-1 and finished 2nd in the Winter Series. They're going up against a Space Station Gaming team who finished 3rd in the Winter Series at 5-2. The first place team from that was T1 at 6-1, tied with Xset, but they had a better win rate map-wise. That's why they were the first place team. T1, however, you got to put some respect on their name, but at the same time, Space Station, I think, had a better matchup against Luminosity on day 2 compared to T1, who went up against Elevate and was a clean 3-0. Those games also were not very close at all. I mean, game 1 was 250 to 129. That's over 100-point difference. Stadium was a little closer, only won by 8, 60 to 52 in the TDM, but game number 3 was really a dominating performance on domination from T1, 700 to 202. The squad there with Jalen App, Smith, and Hypnos are just lights out against Elevate. Elevate, they got some things to clean up. I don't know what they're going to do, but Straith and Co., Daybreak, Sucky, Darth, all of them, they got to figure out a way to get some maps off of people. They didn't win a single map day 1 or day 2. I believe they got 3-0'd by Moist as well. Moist going up against Elevate, that's their only win this weekend. That hurts them and drops them down to number 6 because their only win out of the 2 were up against Elevate. That second day, they faced Elevate in day 1. That second day, they went up against E United and they got clean swept 3-0. I don't fault them too much. E United is a dangerous team. I mean, they only dropped 1 map the entire weekend. That was the Pioneers. And that's why I give Pioneers the benefit of the doubt, is because they went up against them right there. But yeah, again, we're talking about teams that are doing great all around, and then some teams that are kind of struggling. But remember, it's only day 1 and day 2 that are now finished. It's only week 1. Each team's played 2. I believe roster locks are coming in. Maybe we'll do an update on some roster blocks. But for right now, I think Luminosity is a middle of the pack team, even though they're 0-2. And their stock could rise very easily because I think that they had some tough matchups and they did very well against them in that first week. And also, I got some good hopes behind teams like T1 because they were so good in the Winter Series. XSET may bounce back and have a better week too. SSG may as well. I mean, those are two teams that were in the top 3 of the Winter Series as well. But for right now, E United looking dominant, and Luminosity could be that team that sneaks up into the top 3 coming forward. Once again, my name is Real Blue. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And of course, let me know your thoughts for the teams in the Splitgate Pro Series down below, and I'll see you on the next one.
Oh, hello there. It's Blue. I'm a terrible dancer, so ignore that version of me on the screen and listen to my voice when I say thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and of course, click on another video of mine. I heard you'll like those over there. They're pretty good.